Hi. Welcome to a review of one of the guitars in my collection. This one is my Hamer Mirage, made in 1994. I bought it brand new from a local store here in Corvallis, Oregon. It is built with a solid one-piece Honduran mahogany body, a three-piece stressed neck made of mahogany also, rosewood fingerboard with just regular pearl dot inlays. The headstock is not tilted back quite as far as the normal or more normal Hamer guitars, because it is using a tremolo system, vibrato. It has a book-matched two-piece, highly figured koa top, just beautiful. A double cutaway design, similar to what they offered in what they were calling, well, they went by different names. It was like a double cutaway junior style, or the arch top. It was known when I started looking at Hamer guitars, it was the Archtop Custom or Archtop Studio. This does have a carved top on it, just like those. And instead of the 24 3/4 inch scale length that is common with most of the other Hamer guitars of the day, this had a 25.5 inch scale, similar to what, well, like what Fender was using. Hence the name of a Mirage. It looks like, very much like, one of the Hamer Archtop guitars. The horns are a little bit different. This one's a little bit higher. It has kind of a slight offset to the double cutaway, kind of like a Strat. Three pickups like a Strat, but these are a noiseless type design. These pickups are from Seymour Duncan. The top two are a vintage rail. The bottom one is called the hot rail. So they are a humbucking pickup. They are a noiseless type of pickup, but it still simulates the sound of a traditional single coil pickup. 3 on a side tuners. These are the Spurzl locking tuners, which also aid stability, as does the bridge selection that they chose. This is the Wilkinson VSV bridge. Has a 5-way pickup selector switch, volume, tone, and this mini switch is like a lead switch or a bypass. If I have this pickup selector, it doesn't matter where I am, could be these two pickups combined, and if I flip this switch, I'm in the bridge position, bypassing all of the controls. So it basically takes this pickup directly to the output. It does have great tuning stability, kind of a medium jumbo fret size, a fairly flat fingerboard in comparison to the Fender style or S style, Strat style guitars of the day. This has a much flatter fretboard, rosewood fretboard with pearl position markers, and along the top edge of the fretboard has the traditional, I've heard it called the Cobra head headstock that Hamer uses, but this one does have a volute at the back of the headstock. Hamer started making guitars in 1973. They made their first one. In 1978, they started to make, I believe, their first real production guitar. Up until then, they were making kind of one-off custom guitars. Many top artists of the day were approached, and Hamer had made guitars for some of those artists. Probably the best known is through Cheap Trick. This guitar was made in 1994, the first year that this guitar was in production. Up until that time, I had owned, played, and tried many Strat style guitars. And I believe I had a Strat style guitar at that time that I just never was quite happy with. And I saw this on the wall at the local music store, which at that time was called Valley Music in Corvallis, Oregon. And I took it down off the wall, I played it, and I was very impressed. Put it back up on the wall. And I visited quite a bit because I loved the guitar. It felt right. I loved the feel of the neck. I loved the sculpted heel joint. This is a set neck, but the heel joint, I mean, you can very comfortably put your hand right over that heel joint and get all the way up very easily. It doesn't even feel like there's a heel there. Beautifully done. And this was one of the U.S. made Hamers, so it was a little bit expensive. Wasn't as expensive as some of the other major, well, the other major guitar company that would be similar in manufacturing characteristics and design. Set neck, carved top, something like Gibson Les Paul, for example, or maybe a PRS, because they were in existence at that time also. This wasn't quite that expensive. Still made in the U.S., lower numbers. This was purchased after Hamer Guitars had been purchased by Kaman Music, who also owned Ovation Guitars. So a few years before this was made, Kaman owned them. I'm trying to get clarification on to who was the actual designer of this guitar, but I just fell in love with it. And give me a minute, we're going to plug it in, we're going to hear some sounds.
Here we're going to do the neck pickup on a fairly clean amp. The second setting, combining the neck and middle pickup. And now, middle pickup. Fourth position, middle pickup and bridge pickup combined. And now the bridge pickup. And that was a little too hot. Now, I'm going to do some different settings here. So this will be a crunch style amp setting on the neck pickup. The neck and the middle pickup. Now the middle pickup by itself. Position 4, the middle and bridge pickup together. Bridge pickup by itself. And now for some super distortion just on the bridge pickup. after using the tremolo as a dive bomb, we're going to see if it stayed in tune on a clean setting. Seems okay.
So there are the sounds. I hope you enjoyed this little review and demo of one of the few guitars that I have purchased brand new because I fell in love with it. I'm still in love with it. It is probably the best Strat that I have ever played. It fits me and my style of playing very, very well. And forgive my playing right now because I am out of practice. So I hope you enjoyed the review of an amazing guitar. And I will leave a lot in the description down below. Please subscribe, hit the little bell over there if you would like to be notified of other reviews that I do, whether it be some of my other guitars that I own, some of the flutes, it could be tutorials of different types, things like that. I want to thank you for tuning in today, checking out the review. Have a great day. Take care.